welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Monday, August 21st, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And joining me back, as always, is my lovely co-host, Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to the program. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing well. Happy Monday. How was your weekend?
Monday.
Did you get rained out?
Yes. Yesterday was very wet, but not nearly as terrible as everyone predicted. So that was good. And today was actually a really nice day. So not too bad.
I know everybody was going nuts about it. And there were spots in California that did get pretty slammed by rain.
Apparently Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium. The whole parking lot was just flooded. That was crazy. It was great to see those pictures because it's like monumental, but it's not good, but it's still interesting, right? And then
Definitely.
Palm Desert too. Massively just like destroyed with rain.
That's a little further away for me.
Yeah. Here in the valley, we're in North Hollywood. It's not too bad. We got some rain. It was heavy rain. My car needed that car wash, so I was very happy it happened that way around. But, overall, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. If anybody was hurt during this whole thing, though, I hope you're okay and get well fast because it's just, it's scary when that stuff happens. But I'm happy we made it through.
Yeah.
Everybody could be good, calm, we're good to go. It's great. But we got to get going on this show. So joining us back here on Kruse Control for, I don't know how many times she's been here, but Lexi, writer, director, actor, and she's actually directing a project right now that I've been working with her too, which I can't wait to talk about more later, but she's fantastic. You should see her art. At Polyester, you can see all of her art. She's a fantastic person. Welcome back to the program, the aficionado of movies, Lexi Covill. Lexi, welcome back to the program. How you doing, Lexi?
Hi. Nice to be back. It's good to see you.
Hi.
Good to see you too. How you doing?
I'm all right. Had my birthday on Sunday, so
happy belated.
birthday. Happy belated birthday.
thank you. I'm old.
Was it good? You do anything fun?
I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I did. I just kind of stayed at home and did things, but it was nice. So
Yeah, nice.
For you.
Well,
Right.
you got to have a calm birthday every once in a while, right? It's really
She
needed.
didn't say it was calm. She just said she stayed home.
Well, I mean,
Right.
it's relaxed. It's relaxed.
I'm just
Well,
not
thank you
telling
for
you what I
being-
did.
I like it. I like a little bit
Scandalous,
of mystery.
Lexi. Scandalous. But thank you for being here, Lexi. Appreciate you as always. We're gonna have fun tonight on this special Monday edition.
And by the way,
But
Brian,
it's gonna be great.
wash
Yes.
your car. The rain doesn't wash your car.
It's
You need to
true. I
stop.
usually am really good about that, but I was not, recently. So it is what it is. But
That's
I
right.
will.
That's
Lexi.
right, GR,
I'll take care of it.
21. You got it.
But also, Lexi, happy you're here tonight. Welcome back as always. Sabrina's back. Love to have you here. We got a very special guest, though. Very first time coming on Kruse Control, which we love to have new guests. And it's just fantastic to have someone that is this talented here, too, joining the ranks of our many talented co-hosts and guests that come along on Kruse Control. But Omoghéné is coming on tonight. She is a singer, songwriter, and poet who is pressed on challenging conventional thinking. You can hear her debut album, Every Day Is My Birthday. That's a great song. You gotta hear it. She also has Face Me Out right now. Everybody, welcome to Kruse Control for the very first time. Omoghéné, welcome to Kruse Control. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining our crazy little show. We have a lot of fun here. We kind of go a little nuts, as you can tell. Big energy, fun times, talking about movies. But we want our audience to know more about you because this is your first time on Kruse Control. Tell everybody about what you've been up to, latest projects, songs. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm always in the studio, always constantly recording, getting ready to release a project soon. I'm actually going to Europe this Saturday because I have a performance.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. This will be my first time in Europe performing. But yeah, I'm really, really happy for my new single, Face Me. And yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys today.
Happy to have you here. The video is great. People can see the video right now. I'm showing a little piece of it here next to her. So it's great. You can see it on our website. You can go online. Where's all your stuff located right now? Where can people listen to you?
Anywhere where you listen to music, my music is there. So if you check out my website, omoghéné.com, you'll find all my music there. But if you listen to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere where you listen to music, my music is there. Just search up my name.
Awesome.
You won't be disappointed, that's for sure. Check it out. And it's so nice to have you join the Kruse Control family here, being here with us and talking about some crazy stuff. And we love your music. Definitely got to get the word out. We'll spread the word as much as we can here on Kruse Control. And thank you for
very
joining
good
us.
music.
Yes.
We listen to it all day.
You have a fantastic voice, by the way. I was just like an angel. I mean, seriously. Sabrina we were just like, she's like, is that her? I'm like, yeah, that's her.
I was like cooking and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Wait, what is happening right now? It's such a beautiful voice.
It's great. But thank you for being here. And I guess this will be your first time experiencing this. We go a little crazy. Hey, Rachel, welcome back. All the pretty ladies and Brian. Very true.
He's a pretty boy, though, so.
Well, hey, Rachel, there's all the pretty ladies, Brian, and of course we have some breaking news. Let's get it. All right, everybody, the very first thing that I want to dive right into is, well, I just want to do a brief off the top about Blue Beetle, because Blue Beetle came out. We know it came out over the weekend. We talked about it on, was it Friday, about how it had abysmal opening numbers for the very first day. It sucks, because you want a movie like this to do good. You want DC to do well, but it just didn't do well. Like 9 million opening day. Opening weekend, it made $45 million. That's it, everybody. That's it. And the movie cost $120 million to make. Of course, with marketing and producing and all this stuff going into that, there was $240 million they have to do to make their money back. And you never want to see a movie do this bad, but I mean, 43 million, that's the total how much it was. 25.4 million domestically. Overseas, in 61 countries, you only made $18 million. So it's not looking good for an opening weekend, but I hope the best that maybe it's a sleeper thing. Maybe people will go out and see it. But at this rate, it's really looking to make less than Shazam, less than Flash, of course, and probably one of the lowest grossing DC movies out there. And it sucks because Jaime's supposed to go forward in the franchises, moving forward in the DC universe, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen if it's not doing well. And of course, Rooster Gold, all right, that's his name, Lexi. He's supposed to tie in with Blue Beetle as
Booster Gold.
Booster. I want to call him Rooster. Maybe.
That's a good one. looks like this was a blue bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sucks. It does suck. I want to do well, but I mean, Sabrina and I saw it.
I really did. I was hoping.
Did you see it?
No, I don't go to the movies. I know that sounds like I saw Barbie in the theater. That was like the last thing I saw in the theater. But like, I really don't go to the theater because like I get anxiety about the way people behave in the theater nowadays, and so I just kind of I'll go to Alamo. So like I see things. You gotta
shout and have a good time. Sabrina's doing that all the time.
Oh my god! I wish there was like interactive movie theaters like by me. Like,
no, I can't do it. I'm like no.
Oh, I love it so much. There's a Magic Johnson theater in LA, or I don't even know if it's still there, but used to be. But it was like people would all boo and yell, and like someone would be like walking in a horror movie, and they'd be like, "Don't go that way." It was so much fun. That's how I want to watch a movie. I have to really curtail myself when I'm at the theater because I want to do that all the time. And Brian gets very embarrassed by me like often in life. But at the movie theater, he's like, maybe don't yell.
But I think just take it down a notch.
It goes back to what you were talking about in the last time you were talking about superhero movies, superhero fatigue. So
yep, it's big. It's big right now.
It's another one of these. We knew that this was coming, and I knew when this movie came out, it was gonna do this. Like I think everybody knew when this movie came out, it was gonna do this. Also, it really wasn't a hero that people were familiar with. Like no matter how good the movie looked, nobody knows Blue Beetle super well. I mean, he's a Teen Titan, so. Did you really think a Teen Titan from the fifth wave of Teen Titans was going to be able to stand alone on his own film?
He's very Batman-esque too in a lot of ways, which is interesting too.
Well, and they changed the character so much too, because the original character is an alien symbiote, and so it's about an alien and a boy having to learn to work together. So it's one of those kind of deals where they changed it to an alien tech, I guess, or not even know if it's alien tech. Is it alien tech?
Alien tech, yeah, it's alien tech in this.
So it's that changes a lot. That changes the dynamic of the story a lot, and it simplifies how easy it is for him to learn to work with it in a lot of ways. Because by having to learn to work with another creature changes a lot of things, whereas having to learn to work with a piece of technology is pretty simple. Eventually, you'll get
the alien thing is cool. It's cool, yeah. But I mean, I think the movie was a cool concept and great casting. It just, like Kevin Davis was saying in the credits in the comments right here, saying that there's just superhero fatigue. He's like, no one wants to go see DC stuff, and that's That's true. It's like, people are Warner Brothers need to come back, and Barbie was huge for him. What he said is totally true, but the DC stuff is failing. Omo, is this for you at all? Do you like Blue Beetle? Do you like DC movies at all? I know you've already said like Marvel stuff, but do you care about the DC at all? Are you in that same boat? You're like, no one's going to see this because I'm in that boat and I don't care.
Was this an attempt at making like a Teen Titans film? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, not at all.
Getting towards, because like that would be cool if we were trying to get like an event. You know what I mean? Like, an Avengers. Like we're trying to give a bunch of like the teen characters to get us to the film that the Teen Titans. They don't, because I'm here for a Teen Titans movie, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
It would be good, but I don't think they're looking for that right now. Oma, what do you think? Do you think that this is for you at all? What do you think? Or are you kind of in that boat? You're like,
I'm a really big Marvel fan. Don't hate me, all the DC fans out there, but I'm a really, really big Marvel fan. I didn't even know Blue Beetle was coming out, and
a lot of people didn't.
I think that maybe DC should work on their marketing game, because
they spend a lot of money too.
Yeah, Marvel makes sure that everybody knows that they have a movie coming out.
Yeah, and DC is just, I think they've given up though a little bit too. It's like, you look at the whole thing and it's like, well, James Gunn's rebooting it all. So like, what's the point of actually just worrying about this franchise anymore, or these DC movies? So I just think that this makes sense. I said it before in this show, this is going to happen because we don't know if it's going to tie in, if anybody's really going to care about it. And it didn't do well. And I don't think it's going to have pickup later on, but you never know. Sleeper movies do come back around. But something else that's just going away, just like Blue Beetle's box office, because they're not making any money, is League of Their Own, which is very unfortunate because this really bummed me out, because you have a show, and this is something that's going to be happening more and more when we talk about the show. Shows that stop being made, even though they're greenlit, because of the SAG-AFTRA and the WGA strike. This is one of those big ones. So this is going, they did one season, they were going to come back for a shortened season. They did 8 episodes first season, they're going to do 4 the second season, but because of the strike, production was going to take forever for this to happen, right? This was supposed to start shooting in April, and now they have no idea like how long it would take. And right now they're predicting that with the strike and the setbacks and letting contracts run up, they don't think it can have it out until 2025, which is a long time since the first season came out in 2022. So it's like, at this point, they're like, we're letting it go. League of Their Own is going away, and you're not getting your second season. So if you're a fan of the show, it's very unfortunate for those people out there. But this is what's been happening. And there's more shows to be talking about this, because this is the process of strikes. And this is things just that take the axe, even though you expect it to happen. They got picked up and then they got canceled. And this is the world we live in. Just like Amazon's raising their prices for their streaming music. That's right. This one just came out before we came live. I had to say about this because we love talking about the prices. But Amazon Music, if you have it, it's going up $1. Well, that's if you're paying monthly. So if you paid $8.99 a month, now it's going up to $9.99. If you paid yearly for this and you paid the $89 a year, now you're paying $99 or $98 a year. So they're raising all their prices incrementally. I mean, the family plan too, it's like you had the $15.99, it's moved up to $16.99. And if you're paying for the just without Prime, it's still going to be $10.99. But Amazon's raising their prices, which sucks for musicians out there too, because I mean, this is a crazy world with this, right? Omo, what do you think about this stuff? Because like, you know how the music scene works. Do you think that this is going to affect musicians moving forward, like these prices going up, or is it better for the musician?
As far as I know, whenever anybody raises their prices, any platform raises their prices, it never goes to musicians. So, and if you've ever seen the equation on how artists get paid out, it's the most complicated thing ever. Like, you have to have like thousands and thousands of streams to even get like a penny. So really? I think that this is probably something Amazon is just keeping for themselves.
Oh, Jeff Bezos and his giant missiles, you know?
Yeah, I think Rachel's right.
Tell ya.
In the chat, she was saying that Jeff Bezos hates lesbians, and that the raising of the prices on Amazon Music is probably tied to that as well. In some way or another. So.
Damn it, Jeff Bezos.
Obviously. It must be anti-lesbianism. 100%
I can't think of any other reason. So.
No, it's certainly not that he's a jackass and a greedy fuck. Certainly not because of that.
Nothing like
Definitely
that.
Anti-lesbianism.
I just saw this.
It's always in some way anti-lesbianism. Right?
The man did make a rocket ship that looks like a giant penis, so guess I cannot argue with the facts. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just think that this is the same. If only like Spotify did the same thing not too long ago. Of course, everybody's raising their prices. We talk about the streaming services been doing it too, like jacking up higher and higher and higher. And the consumers, the people that are actually being affected the most. And of course, the artists are too, because they're not getting a cut. Hence why there's a strike happening for the digital streaming stuff too. People aren't getting their fair share. And these big companies keep getting richer. And everybody that's actually busting their ass to, create art are getting fucked. That's pretty much it. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we live in. And Jeff Bezos he even said it like, thank you for all your subscriptions to Amazon. I mean, I love Amazon. I love it. I use it all the time. But he did say that he took my money and built a rocket. And like, that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
no qualms about it.
I mean, I love space travel, but I'm just saying,
My brother jokes. He's like, I single-handedly paid for that rocket ship myself. I'm like, fuck you. Because of all the shit that he orders from there and Amazon Music and the Prime. But all the things,
That's what, right, Sabrina? Everything you pay, everything you buy, all you're doing is you're just putting it into his pocket to do that. So. But he's also got Amazon Pharmacy coming. There's a lot happening with Amazon.
Fuck off. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No.
But he loves pharmacy. He loves sending stuff to your door. He loves space. Just like Fast and the Furious like space, but Fast and the Furious 10 is coming, and it's going to be coming to Peacock, everybody. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, it's finally coming out. If you watch Peacock, you can watch Fast 10, but not just Fast 10, but September 15th, it'll finally drop along with Fast and Furious 6, with Fate of the Furious, with Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, and then on October 1st, actually, you will get Furious 7. So they're all streaming over to Amazon or to Universal streaming service. Peacock, of course, finally, a lot of them had other deals, other places, and that's how it goes. So they had to wait for those rights to run up until they could actually bring them home to their own streaming service, which happens everywhere with all these places since they made their own streaming services. So to me, I'm like, it makes sense. Finally gonna all be there, right? Sabrina, you're not a big fan of all this. So what do you think? You're not gonna watch it again on the cock, are you?
No, I'm surprised I watched it once. Like, I'm absolutely not. I'm so done with that. Like, I mean, the most ridiculous, like historically, the most ridiculous car things that you've ever seen in your life. I mean, it's the suspension of disbelief is too high for me. It is what it is, and I know what I'm getting into. So I'm not like, it's not like I'm largely disappointed or disappointed at all, because I know what it is. But no, I'm definitely not going to watch it. I could care less.
I am surprised
Lexi,
it's not on HBO.
You're going to watch it.
Like, that it's
Really?
on Peacock. Yeah, because it is a Fox product. And so it's got the contracts through Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's a Universal product. So I would think, like, it would come out like more associated through those kind of products. I'm surprised it would go through Peacock. That's all.
I think Peacock's all about the family, like Rachel's saying there. So, it's only appropriate. It's a family
If it
service.
was a drunk Friday, everyone would be hammered right now just by this one little conversation. Anytime anyone mentions anything about family, Dom Toretto, or Fast and the Furious, everyone has to drink. So
normally on a Friday, Friday.
We'd be tanked right now.
It's Monday, everybody. There's none of that. Omo, do you like Fast and Furious at all? Do you like? Did you see this movie? Are you excited about this at all? Or are you just kind of like, these movies aren't for me?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was Universal. I'm sorry, Rachel. I misunderstood.
I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Not one.
Not one.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. You get barbecues, family, and car crashes.
And also
Corona.
Corona.
You know what?
Corona.
Just kind
Corona.
of hold that. Like, stick with it and don't. Like, be one of those people. Like, be like those people who don't watch Star Wars. Like, at this point, just don't.
I wish I was one of those people.
I don't watch Star Wars either.
I applaud you.
Oh, you haven't seen Star Wars either? It's okay. It's okay.
I tried, but for some reason, I just don't get it.
It's okay. You don't have to.
For some reason, it probably because it is ridiculous and untrue. That's probably why you don't get it. It's not really
at the end of the
gettable.
day, it's for fucking nerds, and that's all it is. So
Yep.
Yeah,
It's for the nerd
that's
nation.
The thing. I love I love Transformers. I love Marvel.
Oh, see, you got taste.
Yeah, and I love all those series. It's like a project for me. Like, I'll spend my time.
You like your cars to turn into
watching.
robots. That's
Yes.
what's up. There you go.
And
Those Transformers movies, they're good. Yeah, I mean, but you might enjoy these actually. I mean, if you checked it out, I know they do the same thing over and over and over again, but you might enjoy it. You never know. Like we were talking earlier when I was talking to her before the show, we we're talking about she, just saw the Rise of the Beast, and then she went back and started watching all the Transformers and stuff. And there's a lot of gold in there. There's some crap. There is some Mark Wahlberg, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Say how do you motherfucker me? There's some of that, but there's also a lot of Shia LaBeouf like, no. But there's also some great voice acting too, and some fun visual effects. I would say. I mean,
the Transformers movies. I like all.
They're good.
Of them.
Yes.
Did you see Rise of the Beast?
I need to. It just finally came out on. Is it not on the cock?
So you can't say you like all of the Transformer movies.
I need to watch that
because
one.
you
That one
haven't
actually.
seen
It's
the
got
newest
Beast Wars,
installment
and I'm super excited
of
that it's got Beast
ridiculousness.
Wars because Beast Wars was done by Mainframe, which is Canada's claim to fame because we did, the first CG animated TV series reboot, and then we did Beast Wars. So Beast Wars is us.
I don't know anything that you're saying right now. All I know is that movie was a turd, and that's pretty much what I'm sticking with.
I gotta tell you, Pete Davidson killed it in that movie, though. In the newest one, Pete Davidson,
Great.
just like Michael Cera was in in Barbie.
Pete
Sleeper.
Davidson was to Rise of the Beast as Michael Cera was to Barbie. Is that what we're doing right now?
That's what I'm saying.
I like
that's,
it. I like
That's
it.
totally what I'm saying.
I like it. I didn't mind Michelle Yeoh either, actually, as the Eagle Beast laden, whatever that was.
Yeah, I mean, she was fun, entertaining.
I could be here for a reboot movie, a live action reboot movie. That could be good.
Lexi, I know why you're here. You're here to talk about some Twisted Metal. That's why you're here.
Oh, boy.
That's why you're here. But
Yeah.
Twisted Metal came out not too long ago. The whole show is done. It's out there streaming again on Peacock. So if you want to watch, Twisted Metal is based off the video game from the 90s. And pretty much it was like cars crashing if you've never played the game, and like a twisted clown killing people and fire and brimstone and all that. But the service,
Fire and brimstone.
I don't need all of that, but Peacock released its version of that with Anthony Mackie, who I think did a good job. I feel like it, and Sabrina went back and forth. I know she'll probably say the same thing. I feel like they wanted Ryan Reynolds because it was the directors of Deadpool, the writers of Deadpool, and I feel like they wanted like a Ryan Reynolds type, and they tried to have him play that. But Anthony Mackie, he's not really Ryan Reynolds, but he does a good job though overall. And if you played the games, it finally leads up to the ending, kind of leads into what the games actually are. But I gotta tell you, my favorite person in the whole thing is Samoa Joe. He killed it. As you know, he was
really
like the
good.
best playing the physicality. Like I could not even tell you, like it was amazing. And Will Arnett was all right. His voice, it worked. But I feel like because he was a producer, that happened. But this came out, and we just want to talk about it briefly about Twisted Metal because it was a big hit, like 400 million minutes streaming the first weekend it was out. So it was a huge thing for Peacock, breaking records. And to me, I'm like, that's something to talk about. It's notable TV, right? Sabrina, did you enjoy it? What'd you think about Twisted Metal?
I mean, it was fine. It was a show that I watched. That's pretty much what I have to say about it. I never played the video game, so I don't really know. I did see though a picture of Sweet Tooth, which is the clown whose head is on fire normally, and at the end, like I think it's the very last episode, maybe the second to last episode, that he like puts lighter fluid on his head, and they actually do light his hair on fire, and that shit looked dope. That was super cool. Like you said, I think Anthony Mackie did a fine job. Samoa Joe definitely was my favorite part of the show for sure. I actually really liked the lesbian couple who had she had that like little speed racer race car. And her girlfriend was like the flower, the girl with the flower.
Yeah.
She was like, she had all the flowers, the garden, and they would ask for things for the garden for like concoctions for health and, things like that or whatever. Like she was super, like her voice, she was like so threatening, but also like the nicest person you never saw. And she had this like weird, like adorable voice. I don't know. I love every time she was on screen, I was captivated by her. So I really enjoyed her. But as far as the show is concerned, like I said, it was a show that I watched. I'm not. That's where it starts and ends for me. And like obviously they're setting it up for another season. It's not like I'm like, oh, can't wait to see that. It was fine. And Anthony Mackie did a fine job. I do agree with you, Brian, though, that it was definitely written. It had that Ryan Reynolds like dialogue going for it. Like every line that Anthony Mackie said, I was like, oh, I can hear Ryan Reynolds saying that.
I get totally the whole time. And I mean, the car chases were cool. The whole the whole episode about the milkmen coming together in one spot where it's like a safe zone. I really like that episode a lot. I think that overall, though, I mean, it's like a big setup thing, and hopefully,
a lot of it was ridiculous.
Hopefully, they get another one because it really does set in to be like the next one is our Twisted Metal like movie, or I should say show that we were kind of craving, you know. But overall, I mean, it's all
we were
established.
craving a Twisted Metal show.
Well,
I think Omo and I can agree to disagree on that one. Okay.
If you're a fan of it, like Lexi here, did you love the show? Was it everything you dreamed of, or were you like it was okay?
So I was confused at first. Like I first of all, I was like, how are you working this? They said it in 2002. I was like, okay, you've worked me as to how your setting is working and how your music is working and how your nostalgia trip is working. So we've got your nostalgia trip worked out. There you go. Second of all, I was like, how are you making any of what you're trying to present to me work in general? I didn't understand like how you were going to make Twisted Metal as a premise work. Because like it's supposed to be a tournament, right?
Yeah,
so
100%.
Everything they were showing me wasn't a tournament, and I was like, this sounds like shit. So I'm not sure, like, as a fan of the series, because I'm a huge Twisted Metal fan. Like, this was, like, my series. This was my jam. I was really excited about this. They've been promising us a movie and all this, like, back and forth and what have you. I never thought of it as a comedy. I always thought of it as a darker, heavier kind of thing. So going into this, I was, like, not sure what I was going to get. And they really were good with the subject matter. The police officer, I can't think of his name. He's a character from the game. He's great. I mean, the character from the game itself, like I couldn't think of which one he was, but he's like from the first game. So like they got him, and then the two police officer characters that are, I think they actually do kill them, but they were from the second.
The worst actors on the planet. Oh my god! Every time they were on screen, I wanted to stab myself in the face with a hatchet, just like Thomas Hayden Church got.
But like they were the first and second iteration of like the cop characters from the Twisted Metal series. The one that you're talking about, the lesbian that has the race car, that's Twister from the second game.
She was dope.
So she's like from the series, so that's a really good like Easter egg kind of thing. But then, like the semi that they drive, the semi they're driving in, that's Dark
her
Side.
Girlfriend was driving. That's the girlfriend. What was
I'm confused about like their use of Dark Side, because Dark Side is like a pretty brutal main character in the series, and I'm like, why would they utilize the character that way instead of like having it be
who was Dark Side?
Dark Side is the semi, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as a fan of the series,
the truck itself?
Yeah, the truck itself. So I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm confused as a fan of the series about how you're utilizing bits and pieces of the series, but also like I'm okay kind of with what you're doing eventually, like where you got to with what you did, and then the end result is that
they're setting it up for the actual thing.
Yeah, and then the end of the first season is that we get a tournament. And I was like, oh, okay, we got a throwdown. And I was like, that's cool. And then it was a pretty decent little like throwdown that we got with a bunch of characters and stuff. And like they did a good job of leading us up to how do we get to Roadkill, because like Mackie's girlfriend character, eventually that's how she gets Roadkill's car. So she's going to be Roadkill's character and that kind of stuff. So as like a fan of the series, they're doing a really good job of actually doing the characters proper and kind of doing
it's basically the first season was the setup for the actual show is the way I see it, right?
As like someone who is going into this not sure how you could do this respectful to the series.
You thought it was good.
I thought that it was not good doing it initially well, and then I was like, oh, you did a good job. And then they did a good job of introducing Calypso, but like in the background, all this kind of stuff. So the first season's a little strange, like as like a series,
very
like
strange.
as a whole. But like the second season is going to essentially be exactly like what you said, Brian, Twisted Metal. So like
we should just jump to that though.
Right.
Why don't we just go right to that?
Yeah, I kind of feel like you essentially got this weird...
Because they want you to have emotions about the characters. They don't just want to have a bunch of people in a bunch of cars racing. Like, they want to set up these people kind of so there's a connection.
Almost
like,
look
that's
at
how
it...
shows
like,
go. It's,
like, I know it's a
video
TV
game.
show, but
personal.
almost kind of look at it like a Marvel, like, tier 1.
All right, let's not push
all of them, like, their first... But you get what I'm saying? Like they're
almost like this is not Marvel at all.
Right, Omo? Look at Omo's face. She's like,
this
nah,
is not Marvel.
No Marvel shit. No.
Listen to what I'm saying.
High bar.
In that we're introducing all of our characters and we're giving them all time.
Right.
But we're introducing everybody and we're giving them all their time on the screen
Yeah.
and letting them have their introductions. And then we're building them to their tournament. So we're trying to build them to their Avengers, which will be the second season, essentially. So the second season is just going to be all throwdown. And that's what you're kind of getting to is like that we spent an entire first season establishing all of these people to give a really good, solid reason for them to be throwing down in the second season.
Who
and I
they
think
are
that
and
they
why
did a
they're
good
there.
job of it. And that is impressive to be able to do with such simple subject matter because it's such a stupid game.
I will give a nod to the music. Omo, I know you haven't seen it yet, but you did see the trailer, right?
Soundtrack's excellent, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. The music
You didn't watch the trailer?
The music is so good. It's so good.
They have a lot of good, it's like 90s hip hop kind of is like the vibe, you know. I feel like for the most part, and then they have some rock and stuff in there too. But like it's like a kind of an old school soundtrack that I think that was one of my favorite parts of watching the show was like to see, you know, like what kind of weird shit they were gonna do with a fun song next. You know, they used the music well, is what I'm trying. It wasn't just like in the back, like it was part of the show when they had it on, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was probably.
The CG's terrible in it. It's a.
Wait, what'd you say, Omo?
I was saying it sounds like I need to lock in. I need to tune in.
But the thing is, do you like graphic kind of like gory kind of, because it's pretty gory at times. Do you like that kind of stuff?
It depends. I'm not really like a scary movie person. If it's like along those lines, I would say no. But I could handle a little bit.
Yeah, if it's too much, I just kind of look away, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for the you know maybe.
Yeah,
but like
she did that quite a bit. She's like, oh no,
sometimes
oh no.
I'm like I watched like randomly and at a very poor time and couldn't sleep. I put on Cocaine Bear, one of the goriest movies I've ever seen in my life. Someone's eating someone's intestines at one point, and I'm just like, don't know that I need any of this to be happening at all ever on the TV. Yeah. Like definitely don't need that. I feel like Twisted Metal it's more like funny presentation of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like more tolerable.
It's dark comedy.
Yeah. There is just there's one thing like at the very end, and I know you all know what I'm talking about. That's just like there's like things happening for like too many minutes where someone's face is slightly impaled, and I'm just like I'm just when I hear him be done, I will look back at the television. You know what I mean?
It's definitely that kind of show overall.
It's a lot. But the music is used very well in a lot of places. And like there is some good acting performances, but like it's not something that I'm, you know, can't wait for next season. Like it was fine, you know.
The acting is great. I can't wait for next season. I'm super excited.
There's some good performances.
The next season's going to be really great, and I really think like they're going to take Anthony Mackie's character and they're going to make it Axel, which I'm like super fucking pumped for, because if they make him Axel, that's going to be insane if they do that character, because Axel's the guy who's just mounted between two tires with his arms stuck like between two tires. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if they get into like they already showed like an image of him, so they're heading towards that direction, and like they're talking about bringing a lot more of the more insane elements in. So if they bring
they have all the players on that list on that board at the end, and there were some question marks, so that's interesting to see too. I mean, Anthony Mackie was on the board, but I was interested to see who. I don't play the game though, so I don't really fucking know.
That priest character is going to be in there too. That priest is like insane as well, so he's going to have his like hearse in there, and it's going to get awesome. It's going to be good.
Didn't the hearse blow up already? The hearse blew up. The purple hearse.
Well, there's a bunch of them though, isn't there?
All right, you know what? That's it. I'm done with this. Next, Brian. Next. Next. What's next?
Yeah, you just ruined my whole segue thing here, Sabrina. But it's cool. You can use it, whatever. But I was gonna say the one thing I'm up here and watch it though. I think, like Sabrina said, you would appreciate the music because it is amazing, and music can really build a whole story and influence a lot of people, just like Lizzo has influenced a lot of people with her music. And I'm talking about some fantastic music, and that's why it's kind of one of those things when I hear about what's going on in her life right now, I'm just like, what is happening right now? I don't know if I believe any of this, but apparently she's being sued for abuse. Now, this whole thing came down with 3 former dancers are suing her for sexual harassment, facilitating a hostile work environment, and other troubling claims like locking them in a dressing room so that she can go through their phone and like purge a video. And like that went down.
Her security.
Her security did, yeah. But that's what they're saying. But then it's like they're apparently former employees, former dancers, and Lizzo had a whole statement about this where she said, "Hey everybody, here's her actually statement." She said, "These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who already are publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional." And she has high standards for her employees. That's what Lizzo says. But sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as an important part of my team. Now, this whole thing, it's like some of these allegations, it's just a lot. And it's like Lizzo's out there busting her ass. And Sabrina and I talked about this too. I feel like she probably has a high standard. I mean, they're talking about how they had to work 12-hour days and she was very demanding. And
welcome to the entertainment industry, ladies.
And if they couldn't make it, they couldn't dance well enough for the 12 hours, she would fire them because she needs people who can dance for more than 12 hours. I mean, like the whole show, it's like, it's very excessive. There's a lot of work going into it.
It's day after day after day after day.
So, I mean, she has to have high standards. Look at what she's going out. Look at the product she's putting out there for people. And they're saying that she's weight shamed them and they face religious and racial harassment. But that also came from her manager, or apparently the stage manager or the choreographer who was like apparently very religious.
Dance captain, I believe she was called.
Yeah, but
like we're in high school, dance
captain.
I don't know what that means.
And they're like, that's not Lizzo, that was her. I mean, it's just like a lot of this going out. There's 6 people. They say there's 6 more coming forward to all of Lizzo's actual dancers that were on the tour, the special tour that she just finished. That actually, they all were like standing up for her and being like, Lizzo's amazing. Yep. She's fantastic. She's a great human being. She wouldn't do this. These are just disgruntled employees. There's a lot of back and forth in this, and Forbes itself said this could hurt her whole image, which it could. But I think that she's a big enough artist that it might not destroy her. And it's a lot.
If it's proven that if that's not the case and they're just disgruntled, it's not going to hurt her one bit. It's going to make her it's going to make her stronger.
Yeah.
Obviously I can't, the court of public opinion is one thing, and obviously we don't know what really happened, but like she is such a body positive person. Like I don't know. I don't even understand how anyone could. It literally makes zero sense to me. Like she is such a strong woman, and that's what she puts forward in herself, but also in her music. And I don't see her like shaming anyone. I mean, obviously it's a business and you are going to have to fire people and you are going to have to I don't know, whatever about the cell phone thing or there are certain aspects of it that are very weird. And obviously, I can't speak of, but like as insofar as like fat shaming dancers or, like discriminating against people for race and religion, like it just seems very out of character. It's like, then basically like her whole thing is a lie. And I have a really hard time believing that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so, Spring. I really have a hard time too.
Possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. Ty says it's true, but like I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Sabrina was saying with her image as it is and how much she's given back to music, and then you see how what she does and how she like pushes boundaries and is very like a very famous like proud person of like where she's come from and where she's gotten. It's just like it just drives me. It's just weird. It feels disgruntled people. It sounds like it's oozing confidence. It just feels like disgruntled workers to me. But I don't know. It's tough. The music industry is tough. Omo, you probably know it's better than any of us, like how tough it can be and what you can go through to struggles to get where you want to be. It's like to build yourself up. When you hear this, is it, how do you feel? Are you upset about this? Like, you like Lizzo? Is she influential? Has she impacted your career? Like, what do you feel about like this whole situation now? It's crazy.
I would say that I hope that they reach a resolution soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to at least separate the allegations from the choreographer, from Lizzo herself.
I agree.
Yes.
So I think it's important for us to do that.
But the lawsuit puts it together. That's why it's weird,
Yeah, and I technically understand why they put it together, right? Like legally, but I think that we should separate that firstly. Secondly, Lizzo does have a standard for herself, as every artist does, right? And so she did. So there are a few things, right, that are happening there. So I think that people need to allow her to have a standard.
Absolutely.
Like every professional.
Like every professional. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, right.
And I hope that she uses this as an opportunity to maybe rebrand herself and to also let people really know who she is, right? And if there are certain standards that she wants people to know that she has, she should be honest about that and say that. I feel like the employees, they didn't have anything to say before, but now they're saying something now, right? After they got kicked off the tour. So that's a little suspicious to me. But that doesn't mean I'm invalidating their experience on the tour. So I don't want to say that wasn't their experience. But it's a really sad situation. And I hope that they just reach a resolution at the end of all this.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Very well said.
Yeah, very well said. And you're right. It's like every professional. And that was a big thing I heard too. I was like reading things about it. They were saying about like, the 12-hour rehearsals, and people just seem like, she has a standard. She's Lizzo for a reason. She got there for a reason. It's like, to be a backup dancer for her, it can't be an easy job. It's like anything else. It's like actors that come on set too, to be Tom Cruise levels. It takes a long time. To become anybody, it takes forever. And it's a lot of dedication and time. And it's just like, you got to have the best people behind you to make the best performance. And, unfortunately, not everybody gets to do that. It's just, and it's great that, you keep going, just keep getting better, work on your craft and get better and better until you get there, And
at the end of the day, people need to remember that Lizzo is an entertainer. Like, you have to watch her shows. Like, it's like she is doing the most. Okay. So anybody around her, they need to be doing the most too. They need to step it up. So that's why, she's demanding a lot. And that's one of the things I mean when as an opportunity to rebrand herself and really talk about the standards that she upholds, right? Because like, not to compare to somebody else, but like Beyonce, we all know her to be the person that sets the standard. She's not playing any games.
Yeah, no. It's like, and that's the bar is set right there. Yeah. And it's all about the bar. Like, what do you expect from the people that are working around you and representing you too, and that's.
But also as someone who, I was a dancer. I was in ballet for years and years and years, which is grueling. Like, and I quit because I was like, fuck this. Yeah. I'm not doing this. I'm not eating 1 pea a day. I'm not getting yelled at and abused by my teacher. I'm not getting told my boobs are too big and I'll never be a professional dancer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. Like, you always have, if you feel like you're being abused, you have an opportunity to step away. There are other jobs that you can find. And so if things were that bad, you also, and I'm not saying that their allegations are untrue. I don't know. But if you felt like you were being treated this way for a long period of time and like you were just going along with it for a paycheck, you could find another job. I mean, change is not easy. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm not going to let somebody abuse me repeatedly because of a paycheck, like, or a dream. I wanted to be a dancer. I was like, fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to let somebody walk around and tell me what a piece of shit I am and how I'm never going to be good enough. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Confidence, Serena.
Well, I understand. If you're confident enough to go and dance for Lizzo and be in front of hundreds of thousands of people on tour, like, that's confidence. But like, you had confidence enough to go to that audition and get that role.
Okay, but then once you're there, then you're like, I'm here and I'm scared of losing the opportunity.
But if you got this job, you can get another job.
But
yeah, and that's a very real feeling.
But what if you think like, I'll never have another opportunity and this is it, and so I have to do everything in my power to do what I can to be here, and so I will accept abuse and I will accept whatever. I think in this circumstance, like, well, I'm not going to necessarily say like everything is true. You do have to listen to the victims until
100%. I'm not saying that you shouldn't.
Until like the allegations come forward and everything is finished and what have you. I don't know. I agree with Rachel too. Like, she's said some sus shit in the past, and like, I'm not gonna 100%. I think this idea with celebrities, like with Ellen, like, remember the stuff with Ellen? We spent years like, Ellen is a great person. Ellen was never a great person. We knew that. Her comedy for years has been her being about her being a shitty person. Like, I mean, that's just kind of like, you can't have an expectation of a celebrity being a specific person because they create like body positivity music or because they create
Yes.
whatever. I mean, at the same time, like Trisha Paytas created tons and tons of body positivity music, and then all of a sudden went out and like got all the toxicity in the world, and then became like a terrible person and went against it. Like, I'm not saying like this is the same example as Trisha Paytas because she's like a terrible person an example, but like there are people that like will go down one path and then all of a sudden they'll flip a switch one day and you just don't expect it. Or
Well, fame does that to a lot of people, generally speaking,
does,
already. I
like,
get that.
I mean,
Can
you could
happen
have
a lot.
somebody like a Jerry Savile who like the entire time everybody thought he was a great person working with all these kids, and then he was doing terrible things to kids behind their backs. Like, it's one of those things, like, you just never know the truth of the situation until like all the allegations come out and all of it like is really there. And so this idea that because of the kind of content that they create and because of the message that they're creating and what they're doing, that they are that. I think you know that you have to sometimes separate the artist from the work and then
Yes.
go,
Right, but she
you
wrote
know,
those songs though. She wrote those songs. So that's how she feels. Like maybe she doesn't still feel that way, but she wrote those songs.
I can write a song about something that I don't believe in and then go out and make a bunch of money on it, and then
Ooh.
It's true.
and then
I
I can become a front to that, and I can, you know, what have you. I mean, there are plenty of examples of people who fail at left-wing comedy and go, hey, I can make it in the right-wing circuit, right? And then they switch over to right-wing comedy, and because they're terrible at comedy, they're killing it in the right-wing circuit because there's not as much need to try. So,
and that's but Lexi,
Steven
you're right.
Crowder's a great example of that, you know.
You're right, a lot of fronts there, though. So we talked about not too long ago about, you know, Jonathan Majors too, the allegations leading up for him. You just don't know, like, until you get all the facts and everybody comes forward. I think we get this idea of people that like, oh, it can't be, and I get like that too. But it's also like then you hear more and more people, and you just don't.
Well, okay, to be clear, I never said it can't be. No one said that. Everyone agrees that you have to hear both sides. Like, it just seems weird because of what she puts forward, and also she has a bunch of people that do currently dance with her that say that she's fucking amazing, you know, and then these people who happen to not be working with her anymore that are saying she's not. She could be a raging cunt. I don't fucking know.
Right.
Like, I don't
exactly.
know. I'm not saying I do.
Somebody said something online that I thought was really interesting. They said the way individuals experience somebody is always different, right?
Yep.
So like even like with parents, the way you experience your parents could be different from the way maybe your younger siblings have experienced your parents.
Very true.
So that's really important to take into consideration. And I like Lexi's take on the opportunity part. I think it's important to notate that these are plus size women, people of color in the industry, and that feeling of being afraid of losing can make somebody stay in an abusive situation for a really long time. And there's not like just another job for them versus like other dancers, like Lizzo is the main one right now that's giving that platform, and I think Beyonce now, but there's not many places for them.
Lady Gaga has plus size dancers also. Like there's a lot there. It's now, and not 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even, you know, it was not a thing. You know what I mean? 100%. But like to work as a professional dancer on tour is a very difficult job to get, period. So I totally understand what you're saying, 110%. But like now it's so much more like thank fucking God, finally, like it's multiracial. It's everyone looks different. Everyone feels different. Everyone's body's different. Like some girls have big boobs, some girls have little boobs, some girls have big asses, some girls have little ass. You know what I mean? Like there's guys, you know what I mean? Fat guys, skinny guys, little guys, you know what I mean? It's all, everyone's there. And Lady Gaga is a great representation of that, you know, and, you know, she all has mostly plus size dancers. I don't think she has any dancers that aren't plus size, but Lady Gaga, it's like every guy, every girl, every size, every color, everything, you know, like it's beautiful to see finally the inclusion like that, especially in the dancing world, because it's a very tight, difficult industry and profession. It's grueling, it's brutal, and like I was a dancer. So like I know how fucked up it is and I get it. And I'm not saying like, I'm stronger than anyone else because I'm certainly not. It's just like in today's world where we are right now, there is more opportunity for everyone, I feel like. In every profession. I feel like the doors are opening slowly, but they're opening. And I wish it was happening quicker. I wish they were opening faster. I wish the floodgates were open instead of the doors. You know what I mean? But it's a different place. And like women stay in abusive relationships where their husbands beat the shit out of them and then bring them flowers every day. Like I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm just saying that's an option. You know what I mean? Like for anybody in any shitty situation. There are people who stay as a in a menial job, like as a teacher's aide or something that gets shit on by the teacher they work for, and they're like, oh, I don't want to go through the effort of trying to find another job. I'm just gonna let this lady fucking treat me like shit all day, or this guy treat me like, you know what I mean? I get it.
I do,
but
that.
like to go out and audition and get a job like that, there are fucking hundreds of thousands of people sometimes that show up at these auditions. You got that job. Like you have to have some fucking confidence. You got that fucking job. Like that is hard. It's hard. It's harder than getting an acting job because 99% of the time it's like, oh, you're my cousin's friend. Yeah, come in an audition. That's totally cool. We'll give you that line. No, we're good.
But
You know what I mean? Like
the stress of unemployment is even worse. Like that feeling of not having a job is horrific, and like that feeling of having to try again and try to go through the process is just as difficult too. So I understand like sticking through some real shit. I've been abused terribly at jobs, just terribly, and I've endured some real awful work environments, and I have some terrible PTSD from working in retail and sticking through it because of the fact that I need to pay my bills. And honestly, capitalism is what screws all of us in the end. Like, I mean, the fact that we're forced to need that instead of just being allowed to create and make the art and not have to worry about that. But regardless of that factor, like them being in a demanding environment and having an expectation, but there's also that stuff that you hear about them with her as well, with the sexual stuff, like being made to
Yeah, that sexual
after,
stuff too. There was a bunch of
like,
at the strip club and
going out, and there's that whole thing, and she's kind of said, yeah, some of that's kind of true, and like I kind of do some of that sort of, and like, but like they know that hanging out with me, and they know that I'm kind of sexual, and I know that like, so then there's
but
like
also she's like, touch her boobs, and the girl's like, no, I don't want to, and everyone's like, touch her boobs, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Like that's like, again, like, are you gonna get fired because you don't, or don't go out to a strip club like that? I mean, and people are drinking, and I don't know, that's
but like if you have a boss like Lizzo's your boss, and Lizzo's like,
just don't
come
go
to the strip club, and you're like,
no thanks,
no, I don't want to, and
you.
Lizzo's like, you know what, you a bitch if you don't go to the strip club, and you're like, well, Lizzo's gonna call me a bitch if I don't go to the strip club, and I'm like, I'm real
tired, I'm not gonna come to the strip club.
I'm gonna go to the strip club because Lizzo's calling me a bitch right now, so like I'm just gonna go.
I mean, I just want to address what Kevin Davis said. He said, I believe these women are just lying for the paycheck, and that's also a huge part of it because she is so wealthy, and because of this situation, that's also a huge factor that happens. Like people, try to extort. I don't know if extort's the right word, but like it's basically you can do this sort of thing and get paid off without even having to go to trial. And if it was true, they probably could have brought this up and been like, hey, we're going to take you to court if you don't get your shit and then she could be like, okay, fine, here's $1 million each and no sweat. But since it could have been hush hush under the rug at that point. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. There's just a lot of things. It could go either way, obviously. And there's not enough information for anyone to make a super informed decision. But there's very easily, you worked for her. You could be like, listen, you did this, this, and this, and I will fucking go tell everybody and fucking take you to court. She could have been like, here's $1 million. Please don't say anything. Sign an NDA. Boom, done. No one ever would have heard of it.
That's true. But like we were saying before, there's two sides of this. There's a lot of allegations, and it has to all play out in the court of law. We have to see where it goes. And like we talked about the pressure that, sometimes you just do things that we're talking about. You need a job and you're worried about your job and you're worried about your abuser. So that's something that could be, or it could be the paycheck thing. I'm waiting to hear more information because there's so much happening with this. We haven't addressed it yet, so it's good to actually talk about, have a good conversation about it, because if Lizzo tells you to do something, you might do it. You never know. Just like if Tom Cruise says join Scientology, you might join Scientology. I don't know. But Tom Cruise is doing Mission Impossible, everybody. He's doing a Mission Impossible series. That's right. There's a Mission Impossible series coming in development for Paramount Plus, and Tom Cruise will be the producer. Now, he's been fighting this for a long time. He's been fighting doing Paramount Plus streaming stuff. They've come to him before with the Mission Impossible one. They've come to him with Days of Thunder, and he said no. But apparently now he's finally saying, okay, let's try out a series. I'll produce it. He's not saying if he's going to be a part of it yet. He's not saying if he's going to be like actually Ethan Hunt again, or if it'll be like a whole new person, a reboot. It's very early development. But we know Mission Impossible started on TV. Started back in 1970 or 1966,
Fun
actually.
fact, because I didn't know that.
1966.
Yeah,
Yep,
CBS.
it had one season on CBS, and then after the first season, they replaced their main person, and they brought in Peter Graves to be James Phelps, but not even like the Ethan Hawke character wasn't there. They did a bunch of seasons, got canceled, came back for 2 more seasons in the 80s. So it was a big, big show. And then it became a movie with Tom Cruise jumping around and jumping off buildings and hanging off planes and, you know, shooting off a cliff on a helicopter and, you know, everything you can think of, because Tom Cruise is a crazy guy. I mean, like, I love him. He's a great guy, but he's also just, you know, he's a wild card, you know. But Mission Impossible is coming out for a series on Paramount Plus. I just want to have a brief thing we talk about this because I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I like Tom Cruise. Like I've said before many times, as I've worked with him before, he's a really cool guy. Very strict on people, maybe like Lizzo is. I don't know. But like he's very adamant about like how he needs to like have a certain performance. And it's all about like getting the best product and go and have the best thing out there. And he's just a perfectionist. And a lot of people are in the arts. They're perfectionists, you know. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but you know, I feel like it's a bad thing for me sometimes because I am too, but it is what it is. But yeah, Mission Impossible, the series. What do you think about it? Oma, what do you think? Have you ever watched these? Have you watched these at all? The Tom Cruise movies at all? Any of them?
I have watched them. I like them a lot. I don't know about turning it into a series. Yeah, I'm always very weary of stuff like that. There's been very few. I'm trying to even think of one that wasn't moving somebody turned into a series and that I really liked. I usually never like them.
They don't pan out, right? It's a good idea, but overall, I mean, I don't know. I would hope it to be good, but then again, he probably won't be involved. Really, he'll probably just be producing it, name only. And it'll be some young person, maybe it'll be good. Maybe they'll do a whole different reboot of it and make it completely different too. And that's always kind of how it goes with these shows. Or maybe they can tie into the movies somehow. But yeah, I know. I know your reluctance. I can feel your reluctance. I totally get that. Lexi, how about you? You about this? You think that Tom Cruise can be producing a Mission Impossible or what?
I just want to say real quick to Sabrina, I know she stepped out, but that Mission Impossible was part of that 90s boom where we were making all those 70s TV show reboots into films. So that's where Mission Impossible came from, was that let's make a bunch of 70s TV films. It's also where you got like the Mod Squad and all that shit too. So that was not a good time.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that. Like there's a lot of misses in that time period. But Mission Impossible was one of the ones that was a success out of it all. So he was super happy to get a franchise out of it. TV series, I don't know. I mean, they've been doing a good job of like taking TV series, like movies, and making TV series out of them at this juncture. But I'm just so fucking sick of him and his Mission Impossible stuff. None of it's good. It's not good. It's okay. It's okay. Like
always
it's
a good
like
time.
It's mediocre product at best. I wouldn't call any of it like exceptional or really good. Like the first film's great. The first film's really good. The second film's absolute shit. The John Woo one is
it was not
garbage.
good.
And then the third one's not bad, pretty good. It gets better from there. And then the fourth one, I'm just like, from there on out, I'm like, after that, I stopped watching because I'm like, I just can't keep doing these. I was like, I don't know how they keep getting
But you watch all of the Fast and the Furious
because those are good. Those are good
no,
movies.
They're not.
Those are exceptional films.
I
feel it always gets better when you go to space. Hellraiser got better when you went to space.
Tom Cruise going to space.
Jason got better when he went to space. It's always better when you go to space.
No, those are two horrible examples.
I don't know.
Horrible.
I'm
feel
gonna be
like
positive
the
about it.
90-year-old lady in church right now with, oh, what happened?
What?
Oh, everything just went black on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Are we back? Is everything
Oh.
fine? Was it just me? I'm sorry. I thought everything went black except for me. I was like, oh, it's my show now, you guys. I'm just gonna fan myself off because it's 100 degrees in here. I'm sorry. Lexi, I got your note. I didn't know. I had no idea. Brian was like, oh, it's a TV. I was like, it was a TV series. I felt very stupid. I'm not a huge Mission Impossible person either, Lexi. I'm just breaking your balls about the Torettos. You know how I roll with the Fast and Furious situation.
But like it is one of those things like like the action sequences are all very good in those Mission Impossible films, but like the story is just bland as shit. Like all the story in between is like they're dry and boring, and like I don't really like care about anything that goes on in between like what's going on in them. So I know there's like a ongoing story, there's some kind of spy series, like, but they're not interesting enough. Like they're not James Bond interesting. Like they're not.
I didn't see this new one,
good.
but I heard it was really good. Like everyone at my at work at my job saw it. Everyone thought it was really, really, really good.
I feel like those movies genuinely are Scientology paying for Tom Cruise to go out and have some fun.
Oh, that's a cool shot.
Like that's what those movies are. Those are just like Tommy wants to go play. Let's go pay for another one of his little trips.
Well, guess what? He's gonna do the first movie on the space station, so you should be really excited for it.
He's going to ISS.
Really
It's
cool.
gonna be up
That's
there.
also sad though.
He's
Monumental
gonna get better
film.
in space.
And like I said, he's a very nice person in real life. He's really cool, and he's just very dedicated, and he's very, passionate about what he does, and he makes great. I still like all these Mission Impossible movies. Not $1 million. That's a lot.
Not for Tom Cruise. It's not. He wipes his ass with $1 million
Easily.
like, on a daily. He's
Easily.
like,
Yeah, but
totally fine.
I think it could be. I mean, it could be fun. It could be bad. But Mission Impossible's coming as a series, everybody. We're going a little late. We have to drop one thing, but there, we got one thing we got to talk about before we go, because we just got to talk about this because it's been buzzing on the internet. It's one of those things that we have people that ask us to talk about it. So we got to talk about Britney Spears, and that leads me to our featured story of the night. Let's get it. All right, everybody. So Britney Spears, everybody. Here we go. Let's talk about Britney Spears getting a divorce. So for the third time,
We know you love Britney, Chris.
Britney Spears, after 14 months, is getting a divorce. Now, apparently her and her husband, they had this agreement. They had a prenup. They signed it right before. And the prenup says for every 2 years, if they're married every 2 years, he would get $1 million. And up to 15 years, that would be the cutoff. And so that's what they had signed beforehand. Now, they lasted 14 months, so he's not getting anything. So he wants to renegotiate the prenup so he gets money, because right now he's not getting anything pretty much. So Britney's gone through a lot. We know she's just been beaten down. I can't imagine, remember when I was a kid, when I first saw her come on the scene, and it was just like, the girl from there to the girl now. I mean, what the entertainment industry does to people is insane to me. I mean, you go back looking at Michael Jackson, all the way to now Britney.
Especially the child,
as a child,
kids,
the exploitation of them, it's just nuts. But okay, they were wed in June 2022, and this whole thing, he's 29 years old right now. She's 41. They met on set, so it was actually, he was cast as her love interest in Slumber Party music video that she did in 2016.
Worst day.
And and a few months later, they started dating. I guess she initiated it. Apparently, that's what they said. She started posting in 2017 about the relationship, traveling around the world. He was there by her side this whole time through all of her family problems. He proposed in 2021.
After the conservatorship was over.
After it ended. And he's moving on. Now, she's got a pretty big lawyer attached to this right now, and the same person that's representing Kevin Costner for his divorce as well. Yeah, her name's Wasser, and she's worked with a lot of people before. So it's
I hope her last name's Wasser.
I mean, she's worked with Angelina Jolie, Kim Kardashian, Johnny Depp was one of her past clients. So, I mean, great lawyer. Hopefully they can just, figure this out. But if you sign a prenup and it says, you have to have a certain amount of time, it seems pretty cut and dry for me. But I feel bad for Britney, and I feel bad because, like I said, it's just like, she probably thought she finally had love. She's free of her family. And then now, whatever. And he was saying that he enjoyed the times they loved each other and all that. And she said that too. But now you're giving this another mess. And it's like, she deserves some happiness. And unfortunately, she's not going to have that. Maybe she will now. Maybe she's the right person's number 4.
Hey, she's
I don't
only
know.
41, dude.
She's
She got
41.
time.
She got plenty of time.
That Prince Charming.
She's stronger than yesterday. I tell you that. That's what she is. Just put that out there.
Okay, Dr.
Bad.
Stronger.
Oops, he did it again.
Oops, did it again. You know, that toxic relationship.
I will not accept any more puns. This is a serious conversation this poor girl's being taken advantage of.
It's horrible. But Sabrina, what do you think about this? Do you think that he's gonna win this? Think that he'll get more money, or will she actually be fine and it's just gonna they're just gonna part ways?
No, I think the whole thing's sus. Honestly, when they met, he was 23. You know what I mean? He's 29 now. Like, rein it in, bro. He was like a champion and a cheerleader for her to get out of that conservatorship, which, by the way, the woman, at this point, she's 41 years old. Like, she shouldn't be in a conservatorship. That's absurd.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that like pushed her for that. But like, if they were in love and wanted to get married and have babies before then, why couldn't he propose before then? She couldn't legally get married until the conservatorship was over. But why couldn't he propose before then? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if that's what you guys really wanted, why couldn't you have proposed and then like know that this battle is going on, and when it's over, then you can get married? Like, it's all sus. And then like, as soon as it was over and she had control of her own money, they got married, and then they bought a new house, which I guess technically they attained while they were together. So that probably is like a 50-50 situation. This picture on the screen is, by the way, he literally was like, what should I do for paparazzi, you guys? Which look is the best? By the way, none of them, you're a dick and nobody cares about
God.
you. Your only reason why you're famous is because you married Britney Spears. And like, he has like 18 million followers on Instagram. So he's getting paid for that because of her. She has like 43 million followers on Instagram, something like that. So he's getting checks from Instagram all the time. I'm sure he also does TikTok and other like whatever social media things that pay him just to exist. He basically, well, I know Chris said they didn't buy a new house. She bought the new house, but still technically it was attained while they were married. And most of the time, not that I've ever been married or divorced, but like anything that you attain during a marriage is considered community property, as opposed to anything that you came to the marriage with. If I came with a house, we live in my house, it's still my house if we got divorced. Now, if we buy a new house while we're married, it's considered our house. So he'll probably get half of that house that they moved into as soon as they got married. And like after they were together for 6 years, and after like 14 months now, he's the one filing for divorce and he wants to change the prenup. Like, you're already making money off her. You lived for 6 years with her and went on lavish vacations, went out to fancy dinners, lived in her house, just profited like from your lifestyle. Like, and also, by the way, got modeling jobs, acting jobs, and all these other things because of your popularity that you got from being with her. I think she's done enough for you. Okay? I think that you have gotten enough. You need to sit down, shut up, and walk away. Okay, you had 6 years of not having to pay for a fucking thing.
Traveling the world.
I'm sure you have no fucking debt. You have traveled the world. Thank you, Brian. And you have made a lot of fucking money. So kindly take your shit, get the fuck out, and leave me the fuck alone. Please and thank you. I don't want to hear a word from this guy. He's a horrible person. And he's 29. Like, fuck you, dude.
I know. And like most of their pictures too, it's like them on an airplane. I laugh. I was looking for pictures of them just for the show.
Plane
it's like
everywhere. They went on a 2-week yacht vacation to like different islands for their honeymoon. I mean, I don't know. This guy just seems like a total douchebag.
Yeah, it just seems like she got.
I feel so bad
played.
for her. I really do.
And
She's
maybe-
really gotten the shit end of the stick on all of her relations. People always trying to take advantage of her. It's so sad.
And maybe there was love at one point.
K-Fed
I don't
is
know.
such a douche,
but
too.
Fuck him.
doesn't
The
seem
fucking
good to
backup
me.
dancer douchebag.
Yeah, K-Fed.
Oh my god.
Kevin, they went to like wrestling and stuff too. That guy, I don't know, he did a lot.
But she's such a good person. Like, she took care of all of these people. She took care of
Oh
her
my God,
family.
she's
She took care of her
such a
parents.
sweetheart.
She's such a good person. Like, and that is why people take advantage of her. Like, it's like they just see her as like a free ride because she is like a sweet, she has that song, I'm Not That Innocent, but you are, girl, you are. You are sweet and innocent and like a little flower that like everyone just wants to like suck the honey out of, and it's not nice.
How many Britney Spears songs can we say during this? Come on.
Bad for her. That wasn't punny though. It was
I'm not a
true.
girl, yet not a woman.
Well, I mean, she's a woman now. She's 41.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my take. Next.
Lexi, are you surprised by this at all? Are you surprised by this?
She can be my sugar mama. I'll
She
take
can be
good care
my
of her. I'll show her some
You'll take
respect. Like, seriously,
you-
like, what is this shit?
Well,
like,
her
what
house
is
is
with
in
these guys?
Calabasas. Take a jog around there.
Like,
baby.
my
You'll
god,
find
like,
her.
what is with these guys getting with like Britney Spears and then like disrespecting her and like not treating her well. I'm like, come the fuck on.
Well,
Like this girl's been through
to
so
be
much.
fair,
Like genuinely, like what you were saying, like she's been through so much shit. I'm like, how does she just keep getting like so disrespected and so poorly treated? I'm like, she's such a like gorgeous person, like
yes,
great performer. Like she doesn't deserve anything that she's like been treated and done to her. And like, I don't understand like how.
Also hot.
We're
Good
still
job,
here at this point, like with everything with her and like her being treated this way. I'm like, I thought like once we got past the conservatorship, we were done with the shit. And it's like, here we are again.
No, but then this guy exploited her now again. It's ridiculous.
Like, for fuck's sakes. It's like,
leave Britney alone.
Yeah.
Can we leave Britney alone? Somebody? Was
that guy?
Leave Britney alone.
Yeah.
I forgot about that guy.
He was one of the first viral people.
We were talking about him today, actually. Fun fact, he transitioned. So.
Really? Oh, good for him. That's fucking. That's fucking. It's internet celebrity though. Like, everybody knows who you know. Everybody knows. It's like
I love that guy.
Good for
so
him.
it's just like I agree,
Rachel.
It's impossible to just sit here and like keep watching like this girl.
I know, it's so sad.
Be sucked dry by society. Like
literally everyone around her.
It's so tragic like, to watch.
Is this the business though too? I mean, honestly, Omo, what do you think? Is this the business too? Is it like, is this what can happen to people? Is it that tough, or is there a path where this doesn't happen? This doesn't happen to everybody, right?
Even if it happens in the business, I think what's more concerning for me is that there's nobody around her that cares about her, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm a big Britney fan. I grew up as a Britney fan. And I hope that she finds better. She deserves true love. She deserves somebody that has her back. I believe everybody deserves that. And yeah, Britney's given the best of herself to everybody around her. So
yeah. And how is it people just take advantage of her like this? It just makes me really bummed out, because it's just like everything you hear about her, that she is just a good human being. And it's like, why do people do this nowadays? We talked about this the other day. Why do people just like take advantage of good people? And she's busted her ass for everybody just to entertain people.
Look at this douchebag.
Yeah, he looks like a little douche, but
I'm sorry.
But I feel bad. I mean, and she's like a role model for so many people, like how many years, and then it's like you see her get shit on, and it sucks. It really,
like her parents were supposed to be looking out for her, and they had control of her money, and all they did was spend it and do whatever they wanted with it, and
they didn't
hold
look
her
out
down.
for
and that is not
any
fair.
of them. They didn't look out for
no,
Jamie
that's what I'm
Lynn
saying
either.
though.
Jamie Lynn was let down.
That was their fucking
hard.
job. And they screwed that up, you know?
That fucking shit with Nickelodeon and her as well is the fucking disgusting, like...
Well, her parents, I mean, what kind of parents put both their kids in the entertainment industry at that age? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they tried to do it with, like, I think the third one, too. Like, wasn't there a third one they tried to do it with? Is there a third one? I thought there was a third one they tried to do it with as well. Like, I thought there's
a surprise Jonas. I wouldn't be surprised there's a surprise Spears.
Yeah. I'm surprised to learn that.
Like bonus Jonas. Where'd he come from?
There's also a surprise with the Hemsworth that popped up on Westworld.
Yeah,
Luke Hemsworth. He popped in.
He's the oldest one. You're like, what happened? Where'd you come from, man?
He's surprised.
But at the end of the day, it's like the family should have been taking care of her better.
There is a brother, says Rachel. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
This business is tough, and show business is tough enough. Like music business is tough. Like just to break through and get someplace is tough enough. Let alone if your family's not there to support you and help guide you as a kid. As a kid being thrust into that, like you need that
her
back.
family are horrible. She's like the Lohan. They're like the Lohan parents. Like they should I would like to see a death match between the Lohan parents and the Spears parents.
The Spears,
like go for it. Like,
can we get them?
Can
we throw the McCulkin parents in there too?
Yeah,
send them up in Bezos' dick ship and just have them never come back. Like, please and thank you.
Because the McCulkin clan are pretty bad parents as well. They treated their kids.
It's just sad. That's why they created the Coogan laws. But like they created this conservatorship and somehow got it and were able to just basically control her, which kept her partially a child. I think they didn't let her be an adult. So like she had to go to her parents for everything and wasn't allowed to be in control of her own life, which stunted her growth as a human fucking being. But which is partially why I think she becomes
same thing, yeah.
Still repeats the same mistakes because she was never really allowed to make her own mistakes. It was only the mistakes her parents let her make. Do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to learn from shit when it's not you making your own decisions.
These powerful
Even if
celebrity
it's
children
shitty.
who grow up in the industry just get like fucked up. They just grow up
Bad.
so fucked up, like all of them. Because she started out in Mickey Mouse Club, so she started out like right off
Yeah.
the bat, like as a little, and then like grew up
But
right into
she
that.
started with Ryan Gosling and Christina Aguilera
Yeah.
was in that bunch, and they're fine.
Justin Timberlake.
I mean, fine is Justin Timberlake. I mean,
But you know, some of those are like
He is
male
crying a river
celebrities.
someplace, but you know, it's
we
fine.
treat male celebrities
you
very
leave to
differently
JT
than we
alone,
treat.
okay?
But we treat the male celebrities very differently than female celebrities. Like, look at like JT and Britney's relationship. Look at the way that Britney was treated in that relationship compared to JT.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing. Oh, she lost her virginity, whereas like you know, it's like.
Well, that's just women in general. That's not.
But like,
I mean, that's...
it was gross. It was gross the way that she was treated, and he came out of it. Like he comes out of it every time. Same thing with the whole thing with Janet Jackson. He came out of that perfectly fine, and you know she had her entire career destroyed. So it's just like he's had a lot of things he's walked away from and had none of his career hurt.
But that's unfortunately the power of the penis. Like that's not
right.
Like,
Exactly.
that's society. That's not
the
you know
power
what I
of
mean.
The what?
My penis, should I say?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, like that's how, and that is starting to slowly, cyclically change slowly as the doors are slowly opening. Like with, you know, and it's unfortunately, I don't think in any of our lifetimes that it's going to be exactly equal. You know, and like people are like, well, you know, when women were able to vote, they're like, it's equal. Women can vote. No, bitch, it's not. It's not equal at all. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Or it's like, you know, even, I don't know. I just feel like everything that happens, like people are like, you should take this win and fuck off. And I'm like, no, it's not a win.
So it's
like,
tragic
it's not
that in your lifetime that you think that you won't see that. Like genuinely.
I won't. I don't think I will see that.
And I don't disagree with you, but that's even more tragic. But like that's tragic. Like to genuinely.
But there are steps being made in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it's like small steps, but they're steps. And then you take one step forward, you take 3 steps back. Paula Abdul, tell it, girl.
Fuck the patriarchy.
But I mean, but you know what? There's there is great things that happen in the music industry too. And I imagine, Omo, you got something to say great about it, right? Like what leads you? What's your passionate? Like you're passionate towards this. You're massively passionate towards this. So tell us some good stuff about it. You know, we've had some bad stuff talking about today. Tell us some good. Like what's a great memory for you?
I like the opportunity the artists have today to make a platform for themselves. So they're getting noticed. So it's in the industry, but it's not something the industry quite controls.
Which is good. I mean, that's thing with all these different platforms, with social media, with even like YouTube now, the way you can make your own product out there and put it out there, and you can shoot things so much easier now for music videos than you used to be able back in the day. So there's a lot of opportunities out there for you to get your stuff heard.
You feel like you have more of an avenue to be out there.
Yeah, direct access to people to let them decide what they want to hear.
How did you do your music video? Like, was that through like your agents and managers, and like, or did you do it yourself? Like, because it's beautifully shot. You look beautiful in it. The concept is beautiful. You sound beautiful. Like, how did that come about?
Well, I put a team together of people. I had a director. He was awesome. But yeah, I'm very, very meticulous, very hands-on about everything I do.
I love that.
So everything, picking the stylist, to the hairstylist, to the makeup artist, to the lighting guy, the director, picking the director that I want, the choreographer. I'm very, very involved in the visual concepts as well as the audio production as well. And
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think all artists should be locked into their art. If your name is on it, why would you not lock in? Why would you not be fully invested?
It's just I don't know. I just really love like the colors and like, I mean, it just seems like you had a really, really good team behind you.
I did. And I'm very grateful for all of them. And
you were the one so you should be grateful for yourself because you made that shit happen, girl. You know what I'm saying? It was really beautiful. It's a pleasure to be able to sit here and talk to you. It's just a lovely getting to know you and getting to know your music. And like I said, that video was really, really beautiful.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it.
Oh my God, of course.
We're going to put all links to all your stuff here at the end of the
Yeah,
show. Everybody can
absolutely.
check it out. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. It's been fun. Sorry, we went a little bit over. We always go a little bit over once in a while. Sorry about that. Appreciate you being here. It's been a fun night. It really has.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And we'll push your stuff. Of course. We always do that.
100%.
So. And Lexi,
Well
thank you for being here
deserved.
too. I love you so much. Thank you for being here.
I like being here. That's what I'm here for.
It was a show I watched.
It was a show.
I was here. I was on it. I watched it sometimes.
It happened.
Yeah. No, I love working with you guys. You're the best.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you. Well, everybody, thank you again for being here. Sabrina, of course, thank you for being here.
Always.
Everybody out there, thank you for watching on our Monday edition of Kruse Control. Please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can. And as always, everybody, tell your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, your nephews, your grandpas, your grandmas, your great-grandpas, your great-grandmas, that Wolverine that lives in your backyard, tell that guy, watch Kruse Control. Tell the freaking mailman who has a porcupine in his duffel bag, watch Kruse Control. Tell the squirrel that has a skateboard that runs by your drive every day, go, watch Kruse Control. Everybody out there watch Kruse Control. Numbers are going up. We are keep pushing. And it's all because of you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a happy Monday. And yeah, thank you. As always, take care. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate you as always. And until next time, see ya.
Woo.
Ooh, I got confetti.
You got